Hi, Clémence. Good to see you.
Hi, Sarah.
I'm delighted that Stanford Press has given us the chance to sit and chat for a few minutes about your book, and I'm so pleased to hold it here. Clémence Boulouque's book, Another Modernity, Elia Benamozegh's Jewish Universalism, fresh out from Stanford Press. So congratulations. And I'm happy to have the chance to invite you to kind of give us both an overview and maybe a quick dive into the book in scant 5 minutes. How would you, stepping back, how would you describe this wonderful, ambitious, beautifully written dive into the history of this man, but also his writing and his really astonishing afterlife as a literary force?
Right. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk about a character who is not really well known, whose work has a specific legacy, which really inspiring me. I mean, it created a kind of curiosity because it spans people who are right-wing settlers as well as interreligious activists. So Elia Benamozegh is this 19th century polymath, a rabbi from Livorno who never left Livorno actually, but was in conversation with intellectuals of his time and was really engaged and really felt like he had a stake in a conversation that sought to revive religion, not just as this kind of sort of tribal category, but a kind of universalism that would then protect the value that he felt were part of a religious discourse, which is, equality, justice, even the arts. He was, a Dante a lover. And so he is someone who wrote in multiple languages and tried to, whose interventions were both in the Jewish world, but also in the non-Jewish world. And that's something that he was really passionate about, which is basically trying to make a case for the universalism of Judaism, and through Judaism, a kind of a way for religion to come together and defy what he felt would be, it was a lack of a secular society, insofar as that secularism didn't make space for those metaphysics that he felt were so crucial to the establishment of a good society. And so his legacy is, multifaceted. Again, as I said, some right-wing settlers to this day reclaim Benamozegh in a way in which this is more of a, he used the Noahide law, so the 7 laws of Noah, which sort of can make this kind of provisions for multi-layered citizenship and like a second-rate citizenship for Arab Israelis, for instance, but is also reclaimed by people who advocated for those interfaith encounters, especially after World War II, in the Second Vatican Council. And before that, he really shaped a certain understanding of Jewish identity, this kind of Jewish Renaissance that the first part of the 20th century tried to promote by reclaiming those Jewish ideals and a conception of Judaism that would be more, that would certainly not be an ethnocentric one. So for the younger generation of the Paris School, for instance, but beyond Paris, there was the sense of being able to create, for Judaism to be the basis of a dialogue that would lead to this more robust understanding of religion as, again, a prerequisite to create a better society.
He's such an interesting character in contradictions, it seems to me, himself, and his writing proves to be as well. I mean, one of the things that's so fascinating is how his life is so modestly circumscribed geographically, and yet intellectually, he's so wide-reaching, and his legacy is so wide-reaching. And in that way, it seems almost an astonishingly perfect Livornese Jewish story, Mediterranean Jewish story too.
Right. No, so again, he never left Livorno, although he is of Moroccan descent, like many actually, and so that captures the Livornese identity, this kind of Sephardic networks that he was a part of. Also in his work as a publisher that really spans the Middle East. And so, yes, I mean, there is a kind of microcosm, and that's why his life is fascinating, because as you said, like there is a paradox of him never left Livorno, and yet, you know, inundating journals and having these conversations with interlocutors in France. And so he was also, he wrote in multiple languages, having this, this publishing house that was, you know, that published rabbis from Turkey. And so you can really trace those kind of intellectual and religious networks through the work of Benamozegh, which is another fascinating way in which he felt that his interventions were absolutely not, you know, circumscribed or limited to Livorno, but that he could be in conversation with people who could promote, again, a different kind of modernity in which the dichotomies that he felt were wrongly or were inherited from the Western Enlightenment, but had, you know, led to sort of intellectual and spiritual dead end. And so what he felt was that as an Oriental, that he really claimed the term Oriental, reclaimed the term Oriental as a badge of honor, there was a way in which there could be a more inclusive understanding of what Judaism had to offer. And again, not something that would lead to sort of reactionary stance, but something which would be more forward-looking. And progress, you know, is something that he was really passionate about, that he felt was actually part of that continuous progressive revelation that was part of, and that's the second part of his legacy of a reinterpretation of Kabbalah, which offered this metaphysical and theological apparatus.
Wonderful. Well, we're out of our short window, but it's so good to chat with you about the book. I want to encourage everyone to run out and seek Another Modernity. And it strikes me that one of the completely unexpected epilogues to your book is that this figure offers us a kind of pandemic model that you can be rooted at home. Right. And yet your mind and your literary corpus can extend across borders and through time in a powerful fashion. So congratulations on the book, and lovely to have the opportunity to chat.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Okay, stay well. Bye.